Hey Kevin, what are you drawing?
Well, I picked up a new commission the other day. You got to start someplace, so I've got a drawing, I've got my little CAD drawing that I did, and I thought, well, let me go ahead and start sketching things out so I can get my sizes right, because this thing is going to be, about 8 feet tall. It's going to be like 6 to 7 feet across. So how big is my trunk? What's a comfortable size for my trunk that I need for this tree? Part of my job is how to figure out proportions, how to get things to look right when you look at them, across the yard. Looking at the drawing and thinking, well, it's 8 feet tall, it's like 6 to 7 feet across. I'm going to want about a 2 to 3 foot diameter base plate under it, just because I know where it goes, in that location. And that's about the room I've got to put something into the ground right there. And even though I've gotten fairly decent with CAD and being able to draw things on the screen and come up with designs that I can use, I still like to sketch them out. Whether it's here, whether it's on the floor, whether it's on a whiteboard, anything that can help me visualize it a little bit better. So the first thing I thought I'd do is, well, let's just draw out a circle. And I thought, well, how does that look compared to the drawing? As I said, if you're thinking this is 8 feet tall in here, and this is about 6 to 7 feet across, well, that's going to make that about 24 inches, maybe just a little bit over. So a 24-inch circle, I know in the drawing, the trunk itself, where these big branches blend down into the trunk, it actually has little bumps on it, where the branches don't actually blend right in. It just becomes like a pipe. That's boring. So I actually left them sticking out just a little bit to give it just a little bit more shape, give me some place to weld, give it a little texture. So then just looking at my 24-inch circle and trying to, let's add some branches to it. Let's add a little stick out to it, if you will. And now I'm up there at about 27 and a half. Well, that's still okay, but I'm past my 24-inch base plate. So let's look at what a 36-inch, got a little center mark right there, but let's look at what a 36-inch base plate kind of turns out to be. And that would actually give me plenty of room to not only have the shape of the trunk that I want in there, not only have all of this little texture in there, but I can still get it centered on that plate, have enough room to put in some bolt holes, some anchor holes, where we can bolt this thing down once it gets to location. So now that I know the approximate diameter of the trunk that I want to make, and I've got my little drawing on here of the little bumps that I want to make that will be the branches, these curved outside lines. And remember, this circle is not real. This will not be in the finished piece. This is just to show where, give me some kind of reference as to where I want my trunk to start, where I want it to be. So take that line right out. Don't even pay attention to that line. That's just for reference. So now that I know the approximate size of the trunk that I want to make, now I know the approximate length of these outside pieces that I'm going to make my branches with. Now I can just go back to the CAD program, sketch them out in there real quick, take them over to the plasma cutout table, and cut my pieces of aluminum over there. Everything's nice, square, straight, pretty, ready to go. Just clean them up a little, go to the slip roll, and I can roll these shapes out, get all the different sections that I want to put together, and then go ahead and shape them a little bit. I've got them curved, but I can trim them on the bottom. I can make them lean in or out a little. I can bend them a little bit. I can give them a little more character. But that's going to take me from just a flat piece of plate on the ground. That's going to take me up to probably 3 to 3.5 foot tall. That's going to be the start of my trunk. And then I can start working on the branches themselves as they come up out of that trunk and start to bend over. So I'm going to get some measurements here, go to my CAD and get to work. You guys are going to hit that subscribe button for me, and I'll see y'all next time. So I know that all I have to do is just start.
Owie.
I hate it when that happens.